What's up guys, Mason the Brock Henderson here. So, if you are not somebody who watches my channel for the TV show reviews, if you only watch it just for the soccer reviews, this video is not really for you. You can still watch if you want to hear some of my discussion later on about Spider-Man Homecoming, but if you're not really into the TV shows that I watch, and if you don't watch my reviews of those TV shows, a lot of what I'm going to talk about probably won't really connect with you. So, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. Now, for everybody who does watch my TV show reviews, and especially those of you that have watched consistently and been commenting on my videos, this is another apology video. I realize I've made several of these this year, and some of it is because I've been very busy, but some of it is also I've been kind of lazy ever since I came back from vacation. I don't know, I haven't had the desire to really watch any shows or sit down and do a review or anything like that. Like, obviously I've been doing soccer reviews, but as far as my TV shows are concerned, I don't know, I haven't felt a real desire to go back, even with some of the shows that I'm on where I'm on the finale. I haven't seen the Flash finale or Arrow finale. I haven't seen the rest of the season of Gotham. Shows like that, I do want to eventually get around to, but I don't know why I haven't had the drive to go and do it. I haven't had the drive to be like, ooh, what's going to happen next? I don't know why that is, but I am doing my best to try to get around to it. This weekend, probably not going to happen because I do have stuff to do, but hopefully going into next week, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch as many as I can. I do have a quick question, though, for those of you who do watch. There are a couple ways I can do this. Either I can go into it and go by date. So, I think up next I have to watch like episode 19 of Gotham, and then it's like the season finale of Flash, and then I think the season finale of Arrow. So I could watch it like that, how they're released by date. Or I could go into it and say, alright, I've got one episode of Flash and Arrow, so let's go and finish those off. And then, Gotham and Fargo, I have like 5 or 6 episodes of that left, so let's finish off that. I could do it that way as well, so I guess, if you're interested in which way I do it, let me know in the comments. What way do you want me to do it? Do you want me to just go show by show, or do you want me to just go episode in chronological order? But no matter the case, I do apologize again, but I do have something I want to talk about, and this is where the title of this video comes in. And it's something that's just kind of been on my mind recently. Obviously, if you haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, don't watch this review because it is going to get a little bit spoilery. But I do recommend go watch it if you haven't seen all the higher reviews of it. It is a very good movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Marvel movie, but it's very good. And it's probably one of the best Spider-Man movies we've gotten in quite a while. So, I do want to talk about something very interesting, though. Mainly, this part connects to the shows that I watch, because, as you know, I watch a lot of superhero shows. Whether it's, Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, The Legends of Tomorrow for DC, or Agents of S.T.A.R, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. All of these shows, all of these superhero shows are a lot of fun to watch. But really, I'm going to focus on 2 different sets of shows. First of all, you've got the DC kind of TV show universe, and then you've got sort of the Marvel Netflix TV show universe. And it's very interesting to compare these two because they've got 4 shows each for all of them. You've got, like I said, The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow on DC, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist for Marvel on Netflix. And both of them are pretty well off right now. Both of them have a big fan base. A lot of people still love Arrow, still love Flash, even though Supergirl isn't, in my opinion, good. There's still people who want to watch it, probably mainly girls. And then Legends of Tomorrow is just a lot of fun, whereas the Netflix shows really are kind of just handling themselves very well on their own. Iron Fist wasn't praised very highly, but still, I'm sure was watched fairly consistently. And with Defenders on the horizon, I'm sure it's going to kick back up again, so I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to it. But one thing that I want to talk about from Spider-Man Homecoming that really interests me and really just got me thinking, that nobody's really been talking about, is the concept of the suit. And this is something that Marvel and DC have definitely not had in common recently, is that this concept of a secret identity. And what does that mean? And one of the biggest stories to come out of DC most of the time is which one's the real identity. Batman, one of the biggest talking points. Who's the real identity? Is it Batman or is it Bruce Wayne? Who's the one that's actually wearing the mask? Is Batman wearing the Bruce Wayne mask or is Bruce Wayne wearing the Batman mask? Those type of stories are really mainly DC properties because you think about all of the DC storylines, most of them have to do with vigilantes or they have to do with aliens or gods that are pretending to be human, and so they have to protect themselves to protect the people around them. So it does make sense. However, if you really look at the DC TV shows like Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow we can kind of push to the side because they're traveling through time. Who really cares if they know who they are? But you look at Arrow, and you look at just how it started off. It started off as this kid comes back from being on an island for 5 years, and he's now all of a sudden this superhero kind of vigilante, just really trying to kill anybody in his way, trying to take down crime in his city. Truthfully, it kind of felt like a Batman ripoff, but it has developed into its own thing, sort of. But you really look at it, and it made sense why he had to protect his identity, because he had a family around him. He had his mom, he had his sister, he had Laurel, he had even Laurel's father and Tommy. I mean, he had to protect those people, and so to do that, he had to protect his own identity. Because if he didn't, now bad guys know who to target. Same with Barry Allen. When he first became the Flash, he had to protect his identity because he's got Iris, he's got Joe, he's got his dad in prison, he's got the people at S.T.A.R Labs. If the bad guys knew where the Flash was coming from, they would know to attack S.T.A.R Labs. Supergirl, once again, same thing. She's got her sister, she's got her mom, now she's got her adoptive parents. She's got her friends at work, everybody that works at the Catco. So secret identities in these shows are very important. At least they should be. And yet they're not very well handled. And then you look at the Netflix shows, and it's so diverse there. And I really like how they've handled it, because with Daredevil, you've got a guy who really cares about a secret identity, because he's got people around him that he cares about. If people knew he was just a blind guy who could really actually see, then people would just start to kind of really look at him differently. On top of that, you've got Jessica Jones, who really says, screw secret identity, she doesn't need one, she's just going to be this detective who's also super strong. You've got Luke Cage, who's actually trying not to be a hero at all. He's trying to stay away from that because he doesn't want people to get hurt. And he knows that even with a secret identity, people around him can still get hurt because of that. So he kind of gets dragged into this and doesn't really care about secret identity. And then you've got Danny in Iron Fist. He comes back from an island, and he's pretty much got no family to worry about. So he doesn't really care about secret identity either. So out of those four, you've got a little bit of a different story for each. Jessica Jones doesn't care. Daredevil really does. Luke Cage trying to stay out of it, and Iron Fist just has nobody to worry about, so he's completely carefree. And obviously, I haven't seen to the end of Iron Fist yet, so I don't know if he does don some sort of mask. But that's kind of how it is. So you've got this diversity in these Netflix shows, and then you've got 3 DC shows where they should care about the secret identity, but they really... I mean, how many people know who the Green Arrow is now? How many people know who the Flash is now? How many times in Supergirl have they just said, screw it, we don't care, and practically had her do something that obviously should have shown that she's Supergirl? And so that's what leads me to Spider-Man Homecoming, because, like I said, there's this talk about his suit. And there's that one scene where he, the whole thing with the boat splitting in half, Iron Man steps in, saves the day. We saw it in the previews, saw it in the movie, we knew it was going to happen. And that line that he says, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. And so that kind of made me wonder, like, this Spider-Man is being handled a lot differently than we've seen with the previous 2 Spider-Mans. And I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man probably showed it the best because they almost practically spelled it out for the audience. Whenever he's saving all those cars on the bridge, and then there's the kid in that one car, and the kid's like too scared to climb, And so he tosses him his mask and he said, put it on. Whenever I put it on, I get strength. So you put it on, you get that same strength. And so that mask, while it did hide a secret identity and kept his identity safe from the bad guys, at the same time, he looked at it as, this suit gives me the strength and the courage to do what I can. Because even with all these powers, you could see that he's still not really confident in himself. And I think you look at Tom Holland's Spider-Man and how they handled this Peter Parker, and you can really see that he only looks at himself as just a kid, but then he puts on the suit and he feels like he can do anything. And so they kind of challenge that concept when Tony Stark comes in and says, look, if you are nothing without the suit, why have it? And this is coming from the man who built a suit and was questioned in the first Avengers movie, what are you without the suit? Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. But in Iron Man 3, we saw that even without his suit, he can still be effective because it's not just the suit, it's the mind that built the suit that makes him Iron Man. And so they used that arc and kind of turned it into this story and made it where he's now questioning this kid who thinks that, oh, I just need this suit. This suit's all I need. I need this suit to be Spider-Man. And now he's questioning and saying, no, I don't need my suit to be Iron Man. I'm still Iron Man even without it. I'm Tony Stark. I built the suit. I have the mind to be better than that. So what are you without the suit? And so that question just plagues him throughout the entire movie until at the very end, of course, he has his moment where he's buried under the rubble and then realizes, I am Spider-Man. It's not the suit that makes me Spider-Man. It's me. I am Spider-Man. So lifts everything off of him, goes and stops the bad guy. And then we come to this final scene where Tony Stark is offering him everything. He's offering him the suit. He's offering him, I'm going to show you as the new Avenger. You're going to be the next Avenger. And he turns it all down and says, I want to stay on the ground. And obviously, a lot of people are taking this to mean, oh, he realizes he's not ready for it yet. He realizes he needs to build himself up to get to that level. And so, that is kind of pretty much most of what they were going for. But I think there's a little bit of a hidden message in there saying that you're Tony Stark. What have you got to lose? You announced to the world in a press conference, I am Iron Man. But what have you got to lose? You don't have family anymore. You've got a business, sure, but you're a billionaire with all of these high-tech gadgets that can protect pretty much everybody around you. He even had the balls to announce to a terrorist, hey, this is where I live, come and find me, because that's how confident he is because of all of his tech. What does Peter Parker have? Nothing. He's got a suit, and that's it. He's just a high school kid, and on top of that, people learn his secret identity. People learn who he is. They know who to hurt. With Tony Stark, who are they going to hurt? Who are they really going to try to get at him with? Obviously, Gwyneth Paltrow's character is one of those, but it's not like they know, oh yeah, he really cares about Pepper Potts. We should go get her and capture her and use her as bait, because Tony Stark's going to be there to stop him. Peter has high school. He has all these other things to worry about. The last thing he needs to worry about is my aunt going to be safe? Are my friends going to be safe? Are the people at my high school, the ones that I care about, are they going to be safe? And I think that scene in the car with the Vulture where he's, telling him, look, I will hunt down everybody that you love and everybody you care about. Because he pieced it together fairly easily. After seeing all this stuff, he pieced it together, he found out his identity, and because of that, now his loved ones are being threatened. And I think he realized whenever he got to that moment, he realized whenever Tony Stark was going to announce to the world who he was, it kind of hit him. When he found out my secret identity, when the Vulture did, he threatened my loved ones. What happens when the whole world finds out my secret identity? What happens when everybody finds out? And so at that moment it hit him, this is more important. The suit is not what makes me Spider-Man, but it protects the ones I love. It is what is protecting my identity, and that protects the ones that I love. And I think that's just so important because in this day and age where we have all of these different superhero shows, and one of the things they love to do, even at the end of the movie, Aunt May walks in and it cuts to credits, they love to have that moment. They love to have that moment of how would their loved one react whenever they find out, oh, you're the vigilante. How would Laurel's father How would Quentin, how would he react when he finds out Oliver's arrow? Oh, we got to do that. How would Thea react whenever she finds out Oliver's the arrow? Oh, we got to do that too. How would Iris react whenever she finds out Barry's the Flash? We got to do that. And at some point, you kind of have to step back and say, okay, that is an interesting story to tell. You know, the secret identity being exposed is a very interesting story to tell. However, at some point you got to realize that's part of the superhero mantra. Keeping a secret identity, whenever you're not just a superhero, whenever you're more than just a hero, whenever you've got a side to you that is just an average everyday human, that is part of it. And that's what frustrated me so much about Supergirl, is how, first of all, how easy they were to just say, oh, yeah, she's Supergirl, here's just giving up her secret identity, but also the fact that she was so lazy trying to hide it. And, you know, even in Arrow and the Flash, you know, I still love the Flash. I still think Arrow's okay. But even in those shows, they're still very, oh, we need to tell everybody their secret identity. You know, all their loved ones know now. Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun of, oh, are they going to find out? You know, oh, is Iris finally going to find out if Barry's the Flash? You know, how is he going to be able to hide it? How long is he going to be able to hide it? They just give it away in season 2. Like, okay, there you go. That's all you need to know now. Actually, may have been season 1, but whatever the case, you see my point. I think this is something that has really just plagued these CW DC shows that I think is really frustrating and really just takes away some of the edge that the shows could have. And that's one of my biggest frustrations. Compared to the Netflix shows, I think you look at each of their individual stories, I think it makes a lot of sense. You look at Daredevil, you look at his story, and you look at how he's trying to handle everything in his life right now. He's trying to be a lawyer while also trying to hold on to his friendship with Foggy, while also trying to keep Karen out of the loop because he doesn't want her involved, he doesn't want her to have to worry. You know, all of this stuff going on in the midst of the Kingpin in the first season trying to destroy everything, and then the Hand showing up in the second season. He's got a lot to deal with, having to worry about, okay, Karen, is she going to be okay with my secret identity? Is Foggy going to be okay with my secret identity? He doesn't want to worry about all that, so he does everything in his power to make sure they don't find out. And then, of course, Foggy does find out, and it takes a whole episode for them to finally get over it. And even then, Foggy's still not okay with it. He just realizes, okay, I realize this is something you have to do. Karen finds out at the end of season 2. We don't know how she's going to react to that, but it's part of the story. You know, her figuring out is part of the story. It's not, oh, I'm just going to tell her because I have to. With Jessica Jones, she doesn't have anybody. She does not have anybody in her life, and she doesn't care if people know that she's super strong. Like I said with Luke Cage, he's trying not to be a hero, so he's trying not to show off his powers. So what's the need for a secret identity if you're not trying to be heroic? Iron Fist, he doesn't have anybody. He lost his parents, he lost his family. Obviously, he's still got those the brother and sister. Their names escape me because like I said, I haven't watched it in a while. But he does have them that he's got to be close to, so he's not really going all out to like hide his abilities, but at the same time, he's not showing everybody, oh, I can do all this stuff. So I don't know. You compare all of this stuff. You look at Spider-Man: Homecoming and the message I think they're trying to secretly throw in there about identities and what the suit means to protect his identity. You look at the Netflix shows and everything they're doing to sort of show the different aspects of having these powers, but also, do you need to cover them up? You know, do you have a reason to? And then you look at the DC shows, and those are the shows that should really be focused on the secret identity. You know, focused on, we need to keep this protected. We need to keep this from other people because if they know, then they're affected by it. But it's like they don't care. All of these people are now involved. All of these people know Oliver's the Green Arrow. All these people know Barry Allen's the Flash. Even a lot of the villains know the secret identity. That should be a huge deal. But they don't care. They don't act like it's a big deal at all. Hell, I'm watching right now, I know this is going to frustrate a lot of people because, like I said, I should be catching up on my shows, but I have the entire show of Danny Phantom on DVD, and I've been watching it, just reliving the past because I still watch it, and it's still pretty enjoyable. A lot of funny stuff, pretty good action. Even in that show, it's a kids show, and obviously they handle the secret identity stuff pretty lazily. You know, a lot of funny jokes about how the parents are too stupid to see and all that stuff. So they don't handle it incredibly well, but they still sort of show that secret identity does matter. You know, he's still trying to hide it from people because he knows what that would mean if people found out. You know, the popularity obviously would be great, but at the same time, if everybody knew his secret identity, then they know the people to hurt. They know the people to go after. Even that kid's show understands it better than these CW DC shows do. So, I say all of this to sort of come to my main point and kind of just a discussion point. I do want to hear some of what you guys think. You know, what are your opinions? Am I overreacting about these DC shows, or is it as bad as I say? But to me, I can't think about anybody in any of the shows where I'm just like, yeah, they're trying to hide their identity from that person. I mean, Supergirl's probably the worst of the bunch just because it's almost like anybody's allowed to know. And they even got to the point where the second season, they didn't want to have to deal with her trying to date some random guy, you know, just some normal guy, and hide who she is from him. So they just gave her an alien to date, so that way she doesn't have to hide her secret identity from him. That's just lazy. You know, where's the fun in that? Where's the enjoyment of, ooh, are they going to find out? There's none. So that's my main point. That's my frustration with these CW shows. Even though, like I said, still love The Flash, still love Arrow to an extent. They have a lot of good things going for them. You know, I think the characters on The Flash, and I think the action in Arrow is enough to sort of keep me interested. But Supergirl doesn't really have great characters or great action. It's just a couple average characters and then sometimes good action. And so you add that fact that they're not really caring about secret identities, which should be a huge part of the show, there's nothing to hold on to. And it's a slippery slope from there. So those are my thoughts overall. Like I said, Spider-Man Homecoming in general, you know, I don't really want to do a review of it because I don't review movies on my channel. But I still say go check it out if you, for some reason, watch this because you didn't care. Yeah, it's a great movie, and I think it really does show that secret identity is an important thing for a superhero, and it should be an important thing for any of these heroes. It should be something that they care about, because you give away that identity, you're risking the lives of the people around you. So that's my little, I guess, discussion corner / apology video for the night. Hopefully, starting on Monday, I can get back into it and really hit it hard and try to finish up. Obviously, I've got several shows to get caught up on, and then I've got the entire season of Fear the Walking Dead to watch. Still got to finish up Iron Fist. What I may do, I may just watch Iron Fist for now, and then finish up a couple of the shows that I was close to finishing, and then do what I can from there. But that's about it for me, so let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this topic? You know, do you agree, disagree? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future reviews. I promise they are coming. See you guys in the next one.